We have Miami and Indiana in the college football national championship. The outcome that everybody predicted, right? Let's talk about it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Our intent was to eat. Our intent was to come eat and be hungry.
We're taking receipts, and we'll see you at the national championship.
We won't see either of us in the national championship because our 2026 college football national championship game participants are the Miami Hurricanes and the Indiana Hoosiers. Yes, we heard correctly. Welcome back to the South End Zone. My name is Tyler, joined always by my good friend Chad. Before we get into any of this, it's our last season video before we get into the doldrums of the offseason and recruiting and all that transfer portal nonsense. But make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We've had a fun year with y'all, talking shit and having a good time. Mainly talking shit because that's all y'all want to hear, apparently, and getting our comments about. And we are nice people. Like, I promise you, we are. If y'all want to come by. But yeah,
Just
Chad, how do we feel, man?
Well, I mean, you talked about this being the matchup that everybody predicted going into this season, right? And so, like, on the one hand, so you have Miami, who they were picked to finish second in the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
They finished like fourth or fifth, but somehow they're still the best team in the ACC because they're the last one standing from that conference. Meanwhile, do you want to guess? So I've got this nice little magazine here. Shout out to our good friend Michael Grimes, who's been on the show a few times with us. He sent me this before the season, and I mean, see this nice picture of Garrett Nussmeier back when LSU was ranked number 5 in the country.
Yeah.
You want to guess where this magazine had Indiana finishing in the Big Ten?
Probably bottom half.
Huh?
Probably bottom half.
Well, I mean, remember, Indiana went 11-1 last year.
Did they have them winning it?
Huh?
Did they have them winning it?
No.
Okay.
But they did. I mean, but you were right. Like it was top half though.
Yeah.
It was barely in the top half. 9th behind, of course, Ohio State, right, and of course Oregon. But then Michigan was 3rd. Illinois was 4th. Nebraska was 5th. USC 6th. Washington 7th. Then Indiana is that 8th? I thought they were 9th. 8th or 9th. Anyway, then Iowa, and then so on. You go towards the bottom half of the league. I'm bringing this up to say, to Tyler's point, everybody knows this was not the matchup we expected.
Nobody knows anything. It's with these predictions, man.
This wasn't the matchup we expected before the season. It wasn't the matchup even when the playoffs started. You have 1 versus 10. This is pretty rare that you have a matchup where the 10 seed is facing off against the 1 seed in the national championship. And for all the people who say, like, oh, there's too many teams, we need to go back to 4 or 8 or whatever. Well, okay. Miami is proving that having 10 teams is not a problem. We just have to make sure that we don't leave teams out that have a chance of doing what Miami did. And if that means we have to leave some teams in that have a chance of doing what James Madison and Ole Miss did, then so be it. Or hell, what Oklahoma did, what Alabama did. It is what it is. We have a system that what we want to do is want to make it to where we have as many teams that have a chance of getting to this point are allowed into the tournament so that they can prove it on the field. Because what we have seen, as I showed you with that magazine, is the people who decide who deserves to be in and who deserves to be out don't know what the hell they're talking about. We don't know what the hell we're talking about. We think we do, but then they play it on the field and you're like, damn, I'm surprised. I did not expect that. Hell, when it was 21-12 in your game, I thought the game was over.
I wish it was.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, let the game play. As the old Bad News Bears, let them play, right? But this matchup, Miami and Indiana, is, I think, actually a really compelling one because you have the Kurt Signetti model of bringing these guys in from James Madison and elsewhere, Fernando Mendoza from Cal, and he's got all these guys from who some of them are like fourth, fifth, sixth year guys. And then Miami has the same thing. Miami has some guys who are older and have had, I think, what is it? Akeem Mesidor is a 6th-year senior. What did we just say right before the show? Carson Beck was on the 2020 recruiting class.
He has 2 national championships. He was on both 21 and 22's team for us.
Right. So it's becoming one of those things where like the tectonic plates of college football are shifting to where it is becoming more like the NFL. And while yes, the high school recruiting ranks are still important, you need to bring those guys in, and you need to find a way to retain them and develop them and retain them through their development. So you're not just developing them for somebody else to reap the rewards of it. But where we are right now in college football, this is kind of the model. Have some older guys, have some younger, talented guys sprinkled within. That's a little more Miami's model. Miami has more, Malachi Toney just turned 18 not that long ago. And he's one of the most dynamic playmakers on the field in this game. But then you had that mix of that with all these veteran guys. They're bigger, they're grown-ass men, but they're also more experienced, more mature. You see a lot higher level execution, especially with Indiana. Miami probably a little more athletic, but maybe not quite as disciplined. But look, Mario Cristobal is about discipline too. So it's not like this Alabama team is like your old, Jimmy Johnson, Dennis Erickson, Miami teams way back in the past that were just, get the best athletes in Florida and then roll the ball out there and go. And I'm not saying that. Obviously, these guys were good coaches too.
Well, yeah, but some of the most. Yeah, no, I agree.
There
with
was
you.
a lot of.
I agree with what
discipline.
you're saying. There's a massive recruiting factor involved in those Miami teams. There's a reason that people say that like 2001 Miami is one of the best teams of all time because of the roster that they had.
Yeah. And I'll say this too, like on that note, like because I saw one with I think it was Greg Olson was talking about how that team, Clinton Portis was back. Yeah, but Clinton Portis was like a freshman, or not Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee. And it's like, yeah, but you can't look at the dudes and like compare what they became later when that Willis McGahee was barely playing. So like him being on the roster doesn't make the team harder to beat. Because he didn't play.
It just shows how good the guys are in front of him.
Shows how much depth there was on that roster and how good their recruiting was. But the guys who were actually playing toe to toe, the 11-on-11 was the seniors and juniors on that class. And I remind everybody that Ken Dorsey was their quarterback, not Joe Burrow.
Yes.
So it's a big difference. And going to that point, we have a great matchup of quarterbacks here with Carson Beck and Fernando Mendoza, 2 guys who do it very differently. One guy is like your stereotypical Miami or USC quarterback, Carson Beck, who's like, he's got the girlfriend who, the NIL deals and all this other stuff. And then you got Fernando Mendoza, who's like, I just want to thank God and my teammates,
the little choir boy,
and my dad, and
the little Cuban choir boy.
He's like trying to lead a prayer circle after the game before the interview and everything.
Yeah, he's making sure he's like Coach Signetti, but more importantly, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
He's been with us.
Right. So I don't know, man. This one is like 8.5's a lot, and there were some injury concerns for both teams. Stephen Daly obviously still out for Indiana because he had that season-ending injury celebrating after the Big Ten championship game. But they have a few other guys who are out. Kellen Wyatt is also out, and Bryson Bonds, a safety, are out. And that's really like the key impact guys. But you've been getting some good production from Mario Landino and Daniel Ndukwe. And then on the other side, Miami has, we saw Ahmad Moten try to give it a go against Ole Miss. One play in, and he's hopping around on one foot. Supposedly, from what I understand, he's like full go for this game. That would be huge, having another tackle in the middle. And then Akeem Mesidor, they had some worries about his elbow. He got hurt late in that game against Ole Miss. He seems to be 100%. And they're going to be without Xavier Lucas for the first half because of the targeting penalty in the second half of the Ole Miss game. But they do get O.J. Federique back, who he's been been dealing with an injury. He's supposedly back at 100%. You know, there's going to be some cloak and dagger stuff with the injuries, right? Like we don't know until they actually line up and start playing. It's like, oh, well, guess who's a surprise scratch? And then it's like, oh yeah, so they were just playing a little gamesmanship, Lane Kiffin style, where it's like everybody's doubtful, everybody's
it's
playing.
Like, it's like they all come out of the tunnel like WWE style. Oh my God, he's back!
Right, Willis Reed. And, yeah. So, where do you see this? We see the matchup here. It's good. Some of these numbers you can just kind of throw out because at this point we have seen what we have seen from these teams, and both of these teams have dudes on both sides of the ball.
The biggest thing is you cannot make mistakes against Indiana. Like Dante Moore made that very, very obvious and clear. Like if you screw up, it's going to be hard to get back into it, if at all. Right? It was funny because they throw the pick six on the very first play of the game at 7-0, and they make it 7-7. And then Indiana said, "Cool, man, nice touchdown. See you never."
Here's
like,
5
just
more.
Fucking stepped on it. Yeah. Like Fernando Mendoza doesn't make any mistakes.
Yeah,
his receivers run the right routes. They make all the proper catches.
They protect him really well.
They run the shit out of the rock. Holy shit, they run the shit out of the rock.
Mm-hmm.
The protections are always correct. There's no missed assignments. It's actually really wild to watch. Yeah. Now I will say, and then Oregon's run defense was supposed to be has been rated really high all year, and they couldn't do a damn thing. I'll be really curious to see how Mendoza hangs in with that Miami pass rush. Yep. If he can step up against that, then that's a game over. Like if they can't get pressure, they can't rattle his cage. Miami might as well just go home.
Well,
if I'm being 100% honest with you,
we've seen it when Miami played Texas A&M, and then again this time when Miami played Ole Miss. The questions were like, is Ruben Bain in this game?
Yeah.
Because they weren't getting home on Chambliss, they weren't getting home on Marcel Reed. Now
it's hard to get home on no matter who you are.
Right. And Marcel Reed too. And they did enough so that some of it is like this Charlie Weiss, and then I don't remember who the offensive coordinator at Texas A&M is, but they do a lot of that.
Fine.
There you go. Little like short, quick stuff. Get it into Mario Craver's hands. Get it into Casey Concepcion's hands. And let them
don't have these long developing plays where you're standing back there and looking around. Because Indiana doesn't run plays like that either. Like I feel like Mendoza drops back and the ball's out.
Ball's out, yeah.
Or if he does have to move around, then somebody's getting open very after he steps out of the pocket.
Yeah.
Like he's not standing back around there looking, throwing his hands up like what the hell, guys, and having to chuck out of bounds. Like a play does happen.
Right.
Carson Beck also, I think that Cristobal and them will have to do the exact same thing due to the Indiana defense is don't force him to stand back there for very long because, I think the biggest thing that's Carson Beck and, I feel like T-Bob Abear says this a lot is that if you can get pressure with 4 and drive everybody back, it's really hard to beat, right? Mm-hmm. And so Indiana's defense, if they can get pressure with 4 and just drop back in the zone, as a former Georgia fan, Carson Beck seems to struggle when everybody drops back. Like he doesn't sometimes thinks that windows are there that aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to be fair, he has better receivers this year than he did when that season in Georgia. I'm being 100% honest with you. Guys who can get themselves wide the hell open and be
and catch the ball when they're wide open.
And catch the ball when they're wide open. Arian Smith still catches strays in 2026. Because like Malachi Tony bailed them out on 3rd down a few times against Miami, against Ole Miss down the stretch.
That big broken tackle on 3rd down and 7 or whatever it was, I think was like a turning point in that game where Ole Miss might have actually just like dunked Miami if they get that stop, and instead
Miami also has those drops interceptions that could have made the game a lot worse as well.
Yeah. No, for sure. Like it was one of those where it's like, on the one hand, Miami could have won by 3 or 4 touchdowns, and on the other hand, Ole Miss could actually won by 10 points.
Right. That's what we want in the college football playoff, ladies and gentlemen. And another shout out to Fletcher toting the goddamn like what is it, yards after contact.
Bro.
That's like all he had, dude. He would hit that line and then you see all these Ole Miss jerseys getting driven back like 7 yards.
Yeah.
And you're like, God damn, man.
And then their O-line comes and like pushes from behind too. Like,
right.
That's the thing.
Like, here we go.
I really think this is one of those matchups where it's like, damn, man, this is
the trenches are going to be unreal.
It's going to be unreal. And I think Fletcher is one of those X factors where there's just this expectation that
get that push.
What Indiana has done to running offenses so far this season is just going to be rinse and repeat. And I don't know, man. Like Fletcher runs really tough, and Kamar Brown runs the ball really hard too. He runs tough too. So like they've got dudes who and their O-line can create enough to give him that space, give him a little crease, and let him just run behind his legs.
If you're like a Brooks Austin film guy, the matchups that we're going to be able to have like in different parts of the field in this game are going to be like film. This is going to be like best on best.
Yeah.
You know, especially like in the trenches, on the outside, you know, the quarterback matchup, like, you know, this is going to be like your best on best. Like, all right, let's see what they scheme up and let's see how these dudes get it done. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I think that 8.5 is a little crazy, given the talent on the Miami side. Like, I thought that Oregon, like, I definitely picked Indiana over Oregon, and I'm like, damn, there could be another Ohio State situation, and it was. And I'm worried about Dan landing in big games. This is like his like third blowout in a big game, dude.
Yep.
So we'll see. I'm very excited for this game. I feel like Mendoza has like the media script writers heavily on his side, because Carson Beck and his camp are trying to manufacture some bullshit. Oh, they cast him aside. They didn't respect him. No, you cut us off and you locked us out. And said, all right, I'm going to go make some money with my girlfriend down in Miami so I can drive my Lamborghini in the streets of South Beach. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah. Well, see, we have the opposite over here with Kiffin and Ole Miss, is that they forced him out. Like he wanted to stay and coach the team. They forced him out. And now they're like, he abandoned the team. I'm like, what? Like, no, he wanted to coach him.
And I'm not claiming that Beck abandoned us, but you clearly declared for the draft, said, never mind, and went to the what are we talking about? Yeah. Like, shut up.
So here's the other part that's crazy with that, because you saw the same thing happen with Ty Simpson.
He's going, though. He said, no, I'm going.
No, but listen. So listen to me. Here's what's crazy about this. There's all this talk, and now Ole Miss fans are saying that like Lane Kiffin is the one who leaked all the contract details of their NIL deals for the Ole Miss players. And that's why, like, these guys, you got TJ Daugherty, entering the portal.
Mommy Ellen hit the portal too.
Yeah, Prince Will Mommy Ellen is entering the portal, and it's because these guys are finding out that they're making a lot less money to be retained than the guys who they just brought in, and they're blaming Lane Kiffin for that. Like, how does Lane Kiffin have access to your NIL deals for your players? And how is he leaking? Like, you're going to blame Lane Kiffin for leaking that? Like, who gave him access? Number one,
I'll take Mommy Allen on our D line.
So then they're claiming tampering and all this other kind of stuff. And then they were saying that LSU and some other schools were tampering with Damon Williams at Washington.
That's a wacky situation with the portal flip. Never mind.
Well, but that was, I mean, that's just real good contract writing and shout out to the Big Ten and to Washington for having that thing set up to where, like, if you signed him, you were going to have to pay Washington $4 million for his contract.
That's crazy.
And then it was going to count against your revenue share for next year. And it's like the baseball luxury tax stuff or whatever. Well, what I'm getting at is with this Ty Simpson thing is, so all the discussion about tampering with these other guys, Ty Simpson was never in the portal. But
no, he was always going to the draft.
We have on record multiple offers that were made to him by teams.
Yeah.
While he's not in the portal. That's not tampering?
That's a great point. He always was, I'm going to the draft.
Yes.
He never in
the portal.
Yeah, I just thought about that.
And I don't know, was Carson Beck in the portal last year? Or was that a tampering thing with Miami too?
No, he said, I'm going to the NFL. And then I said, he then said, psych, I'm going in the portal.
Oh, so he
I
did say
think he did. I think he pivoted. I think he's
Okay.
like, it's like I'm staying and going in the portal.
Okay.
It's like what happened.
Yeah. Whereas Ty Simpson never entered the
Yeah,
portal.
he said I'm going to the draft, and then locked Georgia out, and then went in the transfer portal and still locked Georgia out.
Yeah. That's crazy. But anyway, so shout out to Carson Beck though, having a successful year. I know it's one of those things where you on the one hand you're like fuck that guy, and on the other hand,
no, I always say I always have a problem with him trying to create this storyline for himself as bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, like you have film of you sucking.
Yes.
Like we have on record you making the most boneheaded shit we've ever seen.
Yeah, like shout out for the comeback against Alabama, but the comeback would not be necessary if you didn't throw 4 picks in the first half.
You're going to say yes. We came back from down 28 against Alabama because you put us down 28 against Alabama.
Shout out to early Detroit Matthew Stafford, because he would do that all the time. Yeah. He'd like throw them out of the game and then throw them right back into the game in the second half.
We're down 4 with a minute left. You're welcome. And I'm going to make the most amazing drive you've ever seen in your life, and we're going to win this game. Like,
exactly.
But I don't know, dude. The portal's getting nuts. We picked up some solid dudes. Obviously, y'all and Lane Kiffin have picked up everybody that's ever existed.
Yeah.
I guess
the most incredible quarterback room in 36 hours I've ever seen assembled. We went from 0 scholarship quarterbacks to Landon Clark, who's like the best like non-D1 quarterback available, and then 2 of the top like 10 quarterbacks in the portal, Sam Levitt and Hussein Longstreet, like a guy who's like the number 1 player quarterback in the portal, depending on who you listen to in Sam Levitt, and then a guy who was a 5-star, one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the recruiting class last year. And the coolest part about it is every one of them is like, fuck it, bring everybody. I'm going to win the job. None of them are like, fuck this, I'm going in the portal now because you got another guy. Shout out to Dylan Raiola. Pussy.
He's staying. Anyway. He's going to go and sit behind Dante Moore.
He is going to. Oh, so
that's the intention, I believe. Like that's the
he went in the portal as soon as Dante Moore declared he's coming back.
Oh,
Raiola
really?
went in the portal. Yes.
Oh, I swear they said that
he's in the portal. He was immediately in the portal as soon as
I could have sworn that like the plan was for him to sit behind.
Well, I mean, unless he's pivoted since he initially put himself in the portal, but yeah. So now we just need an O-line to round out the offense, and then pick up a couple of other guys on. I think we're good on defense. We just need a couple of O-linemen.
Yes, Nebraska Dylan Raiola will sit behind Dante Moore in 2026, a similar route that Dante Moore took after transferring from UCLA.
Okay, well.
That's all I can see so far. It could change. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway.
He was in the portal. But anyway, yeah.
Anyway, we got a national championship on our hands, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's going to be –
I don't know
it's
what
going to be a doozy.
The Saban assistant battle is on once again.
People keep asking me, like, who do you think is going to win that game? I'm like, look, man, obviously the smart or dumb money, whatever you want to call it.
The fans are going to win that game.
The obvious money is I guess just go Indiana if you're just picking and it's 50. But like, I'd be real tempted to whatever it is, plus 250, plus 275 or whatever on Miami. Yeah. And be like, man, that's tempting.
It's going to be a great game, dude. Like I'm excited. I wish it. I just wish it was on a Monday night. Like, give us like a Saturday. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if they can figure out this college football schedule where it doesn't butt into the NFL playoffs
I'm with Dan Lanning on this. Like, if we're going to be the minor leagues for the NFL, you think they could at least do us a solid and let us have like some days like for us? Yeah. And stop. Like, let Saturday be sacred for college football and leave. Like, we don't play college football games on Sunday.
No, never have, never will.
Like give us, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to just farm us for talent, can we have Saturday back?
Yeah, Miami plus 270.
Damn. See, I looked at the minus 8.5, and I was like, it's got to be somewhere in the 250 to 275 range. There it is, right there.
We're putting right over a touchdown after. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I guess we shall see. I'm excited. I don't have a side on it, ladies and gentlemen. I am not an expert. I just am really excited for this game. If it was not Miami, if it was Ole Miss, I would have said, yeah, it's a wrap. Indiana by whatever.
Mhm.
But, like, I don't know. Indiana, I think that Miami has the absolute right to keep this thing close. I think it's going to be a battle, and I'm very excited. You got Miami in a home. All right, by the way, one last thing. People want to shit talk us for having all those games in Atlanta, playoff games in Atlanta. Miami's playing a national championship in their home
Like,
stadium.
if we were playing in Tiger Stadium or you were playing in Sanford Stadium, that's a different story.
Atlanta's
the Superdome is not our home stadium. Like, it's cool, it's close.
Yeah.
But
And
especially when you had to play Alabama, shit, Alabama fans are just as big as Saints fans as LSU
Mercedes-Benz. There's plenty of Falcons fans at Alabama. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like shit, dude. Like, what are we talking about? And we're like, Miami's literally having a game in their home stadium.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whatever, man. I'm excited. You know, got all the storylines. You know, the most perfect, possibly the most perfect human being ever made in Fernando Mendoza in terms of microphone skills and promoting all the right stuff and being about it. Literally the antithesis of Diego Pavia.
Yeah. Although there are a lot of people who think he's weird and cringy, and I can see it. Like, there's like a like there's like a little.
He doesn't sound like a real person when he talks.
Yeah,
it sounds very
he's
like
he's a little spectral.
Yes.
Put it that way.
He doesn't sound like a real person when he talks. Right. But I'm not hating. It just is like, it's almost like you can't have the perfect answer every time.
He's like a ChatGPT quarterback.
Yeah, a lot of people have called him AI.
Yeah, that is.
It's just like some like. It's a lot of these like cool quarterbacks that are good on the mic. It at least sounds like a real conversation.
Yeah.
Not like he's preaching to the like.
Well, the other thing is the way he stares dead into the camera.
Right.
Like, he doesn't talk to the person. He's being interviewed and talking, and usually you look at the person who's talking. Who you're talking
it's like
to.
if you and I were sitting next to each other, Chad, and we were talking to each other. We were talking to each other. Yes. Not like, oh, it's so great to be, like addressing like a giant room full of people.
Right. Yeah, he'll just do like this. He'll just be like, yeah, Tyler. So I wanted to tell everybody. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, once again, great kid. Like, good. It's all good. He's saying all good things. It just sounds.
It sounds
I don't know him as a person, but it just sounds like a little too perfect.
Yeah, but
he's the son every mother wants.
It sucks that Stephen Daly's not healthy. I would love to see both of these teams at full strength, but they're about as close as you can get under the circumstances at this point in the season. After going through a whole, you go back to August and to have as much of your whole roster still available and all that. It's a good thing. It's going to be an exciting game. Looking forward to it. Monday night. Absolutely. Let's get it. It's on my birthday, actually. So,
happy early birthday, my friend.
I'm going to try to have a little throwdown party to watch it. It'll be kind of like the Super Bowl parties of days of old. Before the Super Bowl party became like a whole thing, and you don't even watch the game. You just have a Super Bowl party for the sake of a Super Bowl party.
Well, listen, the Eagles are out of it, so I don't care. Anyway, make sure to this has been the South End Zone. We've had one hell of a season. Hopefully, when we we'll have a season where it's LSU Georgia in the SEC championship, and then we're both in the playoff. It's all going to be great. I've had my time to shine on this show with the undefeated national championship season. Maybe it'll be Chad's turn. Obviously, not if we're playing us, but otherwise it can be Chad's turn. We appreciate y'all. We're gonna have a great 2026 after having a great 2025. Who knows where the playoff will be? Who knows? Very excited. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. We appreciate y'all sticking with us throughout this season. This has been the South End Zone. We out.
Ladies and gentlemen. Our intent was to eat. Our intent was to come eat and be hungry.
We're taking receipts, and we'll see you at the national championship.